Lena successfully executed 90% of a perfect crime, meticulously planning every detail with exceptional intelligence. One could argue that she was the smartest woman in Germany in 2020, but the story actually began years earlier, in 2011. The beginning, Marcus in Berlin. Marcus, a young man from Dresden, had recently graduated from university. Shortly after graduation, he landed an excellent job in Berlin with a very good salary for someone just starting out. The job was unrelated to his field of study. It was a technical profession, but he quickly learned and mastered it to the point where his name became well known in the industry. As his workload increased, so did his earnings. During the 3 years he spent in Berlin, Marcus regularly sent money to his family, part of it to support them and the rest to buy and furnish an apartment for him, preparing for his eventual return to Dresden to settle down and get married. Returning to Dresden and getting engaged to Lena. At the beginning of 2014, Marcus decided to leave his job in Berlin and return to Dresden permanently to marry and settle down. He informed his family of his decision, and they began searching for a suitable wife for him. They chose Lena, a beautiful young woman from a well-known family in the city, believing she would be a good match. Marcus's family called him in Berlin and informed him about their choice. He agreed to visit for a short vacation to meet her. Upon seeing her, he was immediately drawn to her and decided to marry her. Lena, on the other hand, agreed only because he was a suitable husband, as it was a traditional arrangement. He set the wedding date for 6 months later. During this period, Marcus returned to Berlin to conclude his business and inform his partners that he would not be coming back after marriage. Initially, his relationship with Lena was good, and he tried in every possible way to find suitable work in Dresden. However, he soon realized that he couldn't adapt to the job market there. He had no choice but to tell Lena that he would have to return to Berlin for work, promising to visit her every 6 months for a break. An unstable marriage. Marcus continued traveling back and forth between Berlin and Dresden, visiting Lena regularly. Within 2 years, they had 2 children. However, as his responsibilities and expenses increased, Marcus decided to reduce his visits to once a year instead of every 6 months to save more money. Lena didn't object. She was only concerned about the steady flow of money and providing well for the children. However, this situation made Marcus suspicious, especially after he received a call from someone he knew, informing him that Lena was involved with another man. The first shock, confronting Lena, Marcus immediately booked the next flight to Dresden. Upon arrival, he confronted Lena about what he had heard. Under pressure, she admitted to chatting with someone on Facebook, but insisted that it was nothing more than messages. Marcus insisted on getting a divorce, but she managed to sway him, convincing him that separation would destroy the family and negatively impact their children. Out of love for his kids, Marcus decided to give her another chance. However, he also resolved to permanently leave Berlin and settle in Dresden for good. A cunningly devised murder plan. After Marcus returned and settled in Dresden, his relationship with Lena remained the same on the surface. But behind the scenes, Lena was plotting something entirely different. She began spreading a rumor among Marcus's family that he was consuming large amounts of sexual stimulants. Over 6 months, the idea became ingrained in everyone's minds, making them believe it without question. Once Lena was sure that her plan had worked, it was time to act. She obtained 12 Viagra pills from her lover, crushed them, and mixed them into Marcus's food and drinks. It wasn't long before he began showing symptoms of severe circulatory collapse. She quickly moved him to the bed, and when she was certain he was in his final moments, she took out her phone and recorded him dying. As Marcus struggled for his last breaths, Lena spoke to him coldly, telling him that she had been cheating on him, that he had wronged her, and that she had never been happy with him. Video continued until Marcus exhaled his last breath, covering up the crime. After his death, Lena called Marcus's family and informed them that he had passed away due to a heart attack. When the doctor examined him, the apparent cause of death was indeed circulatory collapse and cardiac arrest. Because of the rumor she had spread earlier about his supposed use of stimulants, everyone accepted the explanation without suspicion. Burial permit was issued quickly, and Marcus was laid to rest without any doubt surrounding his death. A year later, Lena moved to a new apartment. Shortly after, she married a mysterious man no one knew much about. Marcus's family was surprised by her sudden marriage but couldn't do anything. It was legally her right. The coincidence that exposed everything. Life went on as usual until 2020 when a coincidence unraveled the entire truth. One day, Fabian, Marcus's brother, visited Lena's home to check on his late brother's children. His phone had run out of battery, and since his charger type was rare, he asked the children to find him one. When they couldn't, Lena handed him her phone to make his urgent call. While using her phone, a WhatsApp notification popped up. By accident, Fabian tapped on it, opening the app to find a video thumbnail with his brother's image. The defining moment. Out of curiosity, Fabian played the video and was met with the shock of his life. He watched as his brother took his final breaths on camera while Lena's voice was clearly heard, confessing to her betrayal and telling Marcus he was about to die. Unable to contain himself, Fabian grabbed the phone and ran out of the house. Realizing she had been exposed, Lena immediately called her new husband, telling him that the video hadn't been deleted. Furious, he scolded her for her carelessness. Fabian rushed to the police station and reported the crime. The police acted swiftly, arresting both Lena and her new husband, who was revealed to be her former lover and an accomplice in Marcus's murder. Lena's fate. During interrogation, Lena broke down and confessed to everything. Her new husband also admitted to his role in the crime. After a swift trial, they were both sentenced to death, finally bringing justice to Marcus 3 years after his murder. No matter how smart a crime seems, there is no such thing as a perfect crime. Truth always finds its way to the surface.